and I'm in grade 10 at USA. So I spent a good 3 weeks procrastinating writing this art talk to the point where I ended up doing my other schoolwork just to avoid it, which was actually a really good motivator for me, but I'm going to tell you the real reason I put it off for so long. Writing this talk, I knew that when I started telling you all this, there would be no way to take back what I've said. Having my words hang in space just like they are doing now, all of you hearing them and absorbing them, while I have no control over how you interpret any of this. That's scary, and it's really scary, and as someone who has never willingly watched a horror movie, I'm not sure if I'm ready for any of that. Since I came to ESA last year, I promised myself I would never lie in my art. Growing up in a household full of people who cherish the arts, I knew that your own art is simply just an extension of yourself. A raw, simplified version of you. If I created work that was not undeniably me, then I had no right to call it my own. This materialized into my art embodying vulnerability. My art can say more about who I am as a person than if you were to talk to me face to face. I have said things through my art that I have never said to my family or my friends, things within myself that I hadn't even begun to acknowledge yet show up in my work. I taught myself how to crochet last Christmas, beginning with some very questionable looking patches I dismissed as mug warmers and a lot of cat hats I gave to my parents. Crochet quickly became one of the many hobbies I've accumulated over the years. At the end of grade 9, I decided to bring crochet into my work. This started my fingerprint journey. When I made my first dress, which is this one over here, the piece was about my fear of vulnerability, an extension of the phrase, "my skin has holes." I scanned my fingerprint and crocheted it into a dress I could wear. Your skin protects your body, it holds you together, nerves sewing your flesh to bone, holding you stable. But my skin didn't feel that way. My nerves were unstable, and my skin was open to harm. It was raw and cracked at the edges. My nerves were coming undone, and the sewing of my skin was fraying, and I remember feeling so incredibly exposed. Now, when I look at this first dress, I know I wouldn't be who I am today if I had not made it. This dress pushed me to talk in front of my class for the first time. It forced me to become that vulnerable self I was so afraid of being. And although, now that I look at it, it's definitely not my favorite thing I've ever made, I am standing in front of all of you talking about it, so I think that really says something. It is now 1 year since I began to crochet. I have designed over 4 dresses, the most recent being a part of the 2023 Etobicoke fashion show. And just like how I've changed since grade 9, or at least I really hope I have, so have my dresses. I make them not out of an act of fear anymore, but out of an act of preservation. Growing up, we all go through the nature versus nurture process. From the moment we are born to the moment we die, we are forever changing, and that is a fact. We experience new things and meet new people, all of which affect us in a certain way. And for a long time, I resented that. I still do if I want to be completely honest, and to think that there will never be a moment where I simply am myself, untouched by what I've experienced around me. There is nothing I can do to stop the cycle of becoming my parents, and of my children becoming me. I can never go back to who I was before I met that specific person, or before I experienced that specific day. The only thing that has and will remain the same is my fingerprint. Mine is mine, and yours is yours, the graves creating a pattern that will identify me forever. My dresses are as if I press the pause button on who I am at that exact moment, grieving the fact that I will change the moment I press play again. Now I'm going into grade 11 next year, having an inch of hair on my head, but always the same fingerprint, being a part of my first gallery show, and dancing in dance night. Being the first grade 11 to co-direct the 2024 Etobicoke fashion show. To direct the show that I have so much love for is a dream come true, and donations are always open. These dresses have always been a part of me. They have always been there even before I made them. They are wrapped in my skin, sharing my thoughts and my love and a lot of my fears. But I'm going to tell you this now. I'm not afraid of change anymore. I'm excited because who knows what will come.